the inundation in Mumbai, and breaking news coming in from Maximum City. A monorail train was stuck on the line near the Mysore Colony station in Mumbai due to power supply issues, prompting the rescue of passengers. Vasudha, this of course news that's just coming in.
That's right, Veer. As per the MMRDA, one monorail train near Mysore Colony Station has experienced a minor power supply issue. Our operations and maintenance teams are ready on site and working quickly to resolve it. That's what the statement says.
That's right. For now, services between Wadala and Chembur were stuck. But our continuing focus on the inundation in Mumbai affecting several parts of Maximum City. While nothing can bring Mumbai to a standstill, Vasudha, heavy and continuous rainfall has once again paralyzed life in several parts of the city, leaving many areas and homes severely waterlogged and affecting, as we just mentioned, train and as well flight operations.
That's right, Vida. In fact, the next 48 hours are going to be extremely critical. Schools and colleges have shut down. Work from home advisory has been issued by several private offices. Some flights have been diverted and two key local train lines have also been affected. As is the case in coastal cities like Chennai and Mumbai, high tide period is a tough one. During such inundation, more rainfall predicted from Mumbai city, and that remains a concern.
That's right, Vasudha. There were some dramatic moments captured on camera as well of people stranded and stuck in the rainwaters at Powai. Several other places too have seen severe waterlogging.
That's right. NDTV has been on the ground reporting from different parts of the city. Let's take a look at some ground reports. But before that, let's also look at these visuals of this monorail that has gotten stuck due to power supply issues. And this has happened in Mysore Colony Station in Mumbai. And this is after the city suffered from incessant rainfall for 3 days in a row. In fact, Devendra Fadnavis, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, has already held a review meeting. The next 48 hours, Veera, are going to be extremely critical, is what we understand.
That's right. That's right. It's not a red alert. It was a red alert yesterday in terms of rains. There has been, ground reports say there has been a little bit of reprieve in terms of rain there. Vasudha, obviously one will be looking very, very closely at the rain situation there. Of course, there are predictions for more showers tomorrow and day after. But for the moment, a little respite there from the rain there in Mumbai. We'll try and go live across to our reporter on that monorail that's broken down at the Mysore Colony Station. As we just mentioned, Vasudha, monorail, of course, the authorities saying it's a minor power supply issue. Obviously, some of these trains, whether it's the metro or monorail, which run on power, do suspend services when there is extremely heavy rainfall and issues in terms of power supply comes into place. So this is another minor power supply issue according to the authorities. Of course, that train
right. Operations team and maintenance teams are already on site, is what we understand. They're working to resolve this. But now services between Wadala and Chembur are running smoothly on a single line. Radhika joins us with more details on this. Radhika, help us understand the reasons behind this monorail getting stuck and how was the situation of the rain, the monsoons in the city of Mumbai?
You know, at the moment, the situation is under control. It's not been raining over the last hour or so. It obviously was, the city was under red alert throughout the day, but for tomorrow, post 8:30 a.m., the alert has been converted to orange alert, but we'll really have to see how the situation unfolds in the next few hours. Remember, it had stopped raining last night as well, but it restarted sometime post midnight, so we'll have to see if it continues to rain post midnight as well. As far as the monorail situation is concerned, we've been seeing all kinds of delays as far as suburban trains are concerned. But monorail was functioning well until 6:15 p.m. When it broke down between Chembur and Bhakti Park stations. We believe that the BMC was contacted immediately and they responded promptly, is the statement they've given. The Mumbai Fire Brigade teams have also been rushed to the spot and they have begun rescue operations with the help of 3 snorkel vehicles. MMRDA, which operates monorail as well as Metro, has also issued a statement saying a monorail train near Mysore Colony Station has experienced a minor power supply issue and maintenance teams are on site and working to resolve it. For now, services between Wadala and Chembur are running smoothly on a single line and the normal services will be restored at the earliest. So that's the statement that has been issued by both monorail authorities, which is the MMRDA, as well as the BMC. So at this point, it is stuck, but operations, in fact, rescue operations are undergoing. Repair work is undergoing, is what we are being told. But as I said, rain situation is slightly under control. Waterlogging to an extent has subsided throughout the city of Mumbai, but we really have to see how the next few hours will pan out and if the orange alert for tomorrow will get converted into red alert. For now, it's orange alert for the city of Mumbai. Post
Right. As we mentioned about that orange alert, Radhika, I know very, very sketchy details that you may have at the moment, but some passengers will be stuck inside a monorail. It would be, important to know how they would be taken out and how the rescue operation plays out, because in metro lines, you obviously have side parapet or walking pathways for passengers to walk safely to the nearest station. How does it work in the monorail would be something important to know at this stage.
That's right. In those visuals, you can see fire brigade officials are carrying out the operations, and this is an elevated monorail that we are talking about between Vadala and Chembur stations. We've been told by the BMC officials that 3 snorkel vehicles that may take or rescue the passengers from that elevated spot will be used. That's what we are being told. So snorkel vehicles in operation, and besides that, Mumbai Fire Brigade and multiple other civic officials as well as MMRD officials are at the spot. And as you rightly pointed out, yes, passengers are stuck inside. This happened close to 6:30 p.m. and passengers were the ones who contacted the BMC's helpline for assistance, which is when they deployed all the machinery at the spot. MMRDA says that it happened as a result of power supply issues, and operations and maintenance teams are on site. So operation maintenance teams also are working at this point. So we'll have to see how long it will take for the people to be rescued from there.
Okay, a lot of uncertainty there. Thank you, Radhika, for joining us with those details. Also, let's take a look at some ground reports that reporters across the city of Mumbai have sent since today morning.
I'm present here in Kranti Nagar, an important area in Kurla region, right next to the much talked about Mithi River, and this particular area has been mentioned several times since morning because of the severe waterlogging, that has been witnessed by the people here of Kranti Nagar for the last 5 to 6 hours. We know for a fact, because the Chief Minister of the state, Devendra Fadnavis, confirmed it to us a while back, that close to 300 to 400 people have been rehabilitated from this. Have been shifted from this place to the close by BMC schools by the NDRF and the SDRF officials. We've seen that the deployment of all of those people along with the BMC workers has been continuous here for the last 5 to 6 hours. They suggest that in the last few hours the level of the water here in this particular area has actually gone down, and even now it is still it's above my knees, but this is still better than what was the case earlier, is what they suggest. However, if the situation does not become any better, that is going to be a major challenge in front of the authorities. The major problem here is that it's right next to the Mithi River, and we've been talking about it since morning on how Mithi River, which was a trigger, during the 2005 mega floods that hit the city and took away lives of more than 1,000 people. Even the trigger for that particular flood was the rise in the level of Mithi River, and because this particular area where we are standing at the moment is right next to the Mithi River, that puts a lot of pressure on the administration to make sure that they put prompt actions and make sure that the people who need to be rescued from here are rescued as fast as possible. We also saw, that the traffic in some of the major areas across this particular area has also been diverted, especially in the BKC and Kurla region. And that has again posed another challenge in front of the traffic police officers, because a lot of roads which are on the lower lying areas, traffic from them has to be diverted to the main roads, leading to the traffic moving ahead very slowly and putting a lot of pressure on the other roads. As you can also see on my screen right now, these are some of the visuals that we are getting from the Kranti Nagar area, where houses, as I've been pointing it out earlier, are almost submerged halfway through. As I said earlier, close to 350 to 400 people have already been shifted or relocated to the close by BMC schools, and a lot will depend on the intensity of the rainfall going forward and whether the situation will become any better in this part of the city or not. With camera person Vishal Patel, this is Anuj Raite reporting for NDTV from Mumbai.
Well, you see those pictures there coming on your screens. Those are live pictures, Vasudha, of the rescue operation that's on in that monorail. You see, it's a little more complicated in a monorail than compared to a metro rail, which has 2 tracks and you have side parapets to walk about. In a monorail on an elevated corridor, perhaps the first such rescue operation, Vasudha, Mumbai's monorail would be experiencing at this stage. Obviously, they would have gone through several practice sessions for this as they planned it out. But there you see on your screens of that monorail rescue operation of taking all the passengers, getting them out to safety there, Vasudha. Those are
right, in fact, several police officers and rescue agencies have also reached the site, is what we understand. Rescue operations have begun. And Veera, like you mentioned, some of these passengers have been stranded, have been
there you see
stuck
people
there.
opening the...
Yeah.
No, you see people opening the windows as well. And now it's important for people there in that monorail to remain patient. Obviously, it's a little crowded at this time, one can see. So that results in a lot more anxiety there. They're obviously breathing out there. I mean, when you open
and they've
the
remained
windows,
stuck almost for over 1.5 hours, 90 minutes is what we understand. And Veera, this is a monorail that is on an elevated track in Vashigaon area, and this is near Mysore colony in Mumbai. And this is even as several disruptions have been witnessed in the city of Mumbai. You can see the visuals there of a monorail getting stuck due to power issues is what we understand. That's what the MMRDA has said, which is the civic body, which is the body in charge of metro. In fact, they have said that the Maha Mumbai Metro Operation Corporation has said that this train experienced a minor power supply issue, but operations and maintenance teams are already on site. They're working together to resolve this issue. But these passengers have been stuck there for over an hour, is what we understand.
Vasudha, when you're on a metro or on a monorail, I mean, as a regular metro user in Bengaluru, when it's extremely crowded, one does get really, really petrified of the possibility of being stuck in a monorail, in a compartment which is crowded. It's going to be a tricky task for the authorities there to make sure that they get all the passengers out. Hopefully no one with claustrophobia there inside that train compartment. Those dramatic pictures that's coming in. We also have KJ Ramesh, of the former Director General of the IMD, also join us on the weather situation there. Mr. Ramesh, we wanted to talk to you about the weather, but we are playing out pictures now of this monorail that's stuck in Mumbai. Very briefly, give us an update on the weather situation. Obviously, in an operation of this nature, one just hopes that the weather remains clear till all the passengers are brought out to safety there.
Yeah, at least thank you very much for having me in the discussion today. Rain has already stopped for last couple of hours, and at least till midnight there should not be any issue or disruption to the this kind of evacuation process. So that there will be a respite, and people can safely be offloaded from the stranded monorail. That should not be an issue at all.
Ramesh, also you see the tragedy here, sir. We have seen a lot of disruptions in the city of Mumbai. We saw flooded roads, submerged local trains, delayed flights. Now there's a monorail that is stuck there. How long would this weather continue is what I want to ask you, because this city has seen almost 300 mm of rainfall in the last 24 hours.
Yes, this heavy segment of this phase is probably over. Tomorrow we will have slightly moderated conditions like we have seen on Saturday, and then gradually heavy segment will move towards north to Surat and to Saurashtra side. So slowly that will be happening slowly from tomorrow to day after. So that's how heavy segment is over, and we will have a moderate...
that you're giving in terms of the weather there, but we can see people actually being taken out. They're climbing down. That's how you go through a rescue operation in a monorail in a situation when it's stranded. Remember, monorails are hanging from their tracks, which is above them. So it's a lot more scary when you have to carry out a rescue operation vis-a-vis a metro, where you've seen several such cases of people walk past there. Vasudha, you see there those fire service. This one, Radhika, you're there on the line. Obviously, there would have been practice sessions, and this should have been this would possibly be the first such operation of this scale for the authorities there in Mumbai from a monorail.
Dramatic visuals there of rescue happening. Several of these passengers had been stranded for the past hour or so. We don't know the exact number of passengers inside, but this is the monorail that operates from Vadala all the way to Baikala, and this happening in Mysore colony, which is in Chembur. So just right next to Vadala is where, between Vadala and Chembur is where this got stuck. And as you can see, those are the visuals of fire brigade team trying to carrying out the rescue operations. People are being taken out. MMRDA has issued a press note. In fact, BMC has also issued a press note saying, there had been the monorail broke down about 6:15 p.m.
Radhika, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to ask, as a Mumbaiker, in terms of the kind of crowd that one would expect in the monorail at this time, given that it was raining all through the day, but the pictures that we see that it is quite crowded, how would you define the amount of crowd there in the monorail? How many people does a monorail actually carry at a given time, let's say around peak hour, if you can throw some light, if you've used that line?
This is this moves from Vadala to Baikala, as I said. So there are at least about 6 to 7 stations in between, if I'm not mistaken, and there are more than 500 per 4-car train. At least about 500 per car train is what we are being told is the capacity of this particular monorail has. Now, as to how many people are stuck at the moment, we don't know. And as you rightly pointed out, looks like most of the coaches are crowded. Of course, this is the evening peak hour. We know that work from home was the advisory that had been issued, but still we did see a lot of people on the road as well as in offices. And this is again a peak route as well, Baikala to Vadala. So we believe that all the ones who are returning.
Can you tell us what really happened? When it came to how did the BMC actually get to know, MMRDA get to know about this? Because I understand that people started contacting the emergency number of BMC, and taking notice of that, the BMC actually rushed fire brigades to the fire trucks to this part of the city is what we understand. What are the challenges that the rescue operations could be facing? Could you also tell us a little bit about that?
As far as rescue and search operations are concerned, yes, you're right. Cranes are being used and other machinery are also being used by the Mumbai Fire Brigade at this point. We are being told by the BMC officials that snorkel vehicles are also being carried by the fire brigade there. And apart from that, maintenance team, operations and maintenance teams of the MMRD are also present as we speak. The incident happening around 6:30 p.m. You can see how inconvenienced passengers are. They're sweating there, and one after the other, they're of course being taken from the monorail to the exit points. So yes, what exactly led to it? Looks like it is a technical glitch. The exact cause of why it got stranded is something that will be probed at a later point. Of course, the priority is to rescue all of them. And in this emergency situation, passengers, the BMC officials have told us, contacted the BMC's helpline number 1916, after which the Mumbai Fire Brigade team were immediately deployed, and now the operations have started. So this is Mysore Colony Station, as we've been pointing out. A minor power supply issue is what led to this. Remember, since this morning, we've been reporting from different parts of Mumbai, explaining what the situation on ground, as far as train delays are concerned, be it the western or the low. If I were to speak about local trains here, which is, used commonly by people here, we saw a lot of delays, a lot of cancellations of Central as well as Harbour Line. Even, there were delays in Western Railway Line as well, which is the most commonly used. And MMRDA kept talking about how monorail and metro rail are running smoothly. But obviously that's not the case with, this incident happening near Chembur.
Radhika, you know, metro lines during heavy inundation, railway lines obviously get affected. I know very, very sketchy information at this stage that you may also have at the moment. But as we see those dramatic pictures of people climbing down, I'm really concerned for those who are old, aged people who may not be able to climb down like that, those with physical challenges, those with claustrophobia. I know, Radhika, you must have used the monorail and the metro rail, and I'm just putting ourselves in a position of that nature. One is extremely scared of a claustrophobic situation. One of my biggest fears has been in, let's say, underground metros when it's totally crowded. If it's stranded, even a few seconds could seem like a few hours. That would be something. If we put ourselves in that kind of a situation, one could possibly, you know, it's very, very frightful at this stage, right, Radhika? You see the kind of, we're playing out those pictures as you possibly pick up a little more information of people climbing down. There are several people that we can see, and those are live pictures that's playing on your screens there. Radhika, please go ahead with any other information or thoughts that you may have on this rescue operation that's going on.
That's right, Ravira. The rescue operations are continuing, and it is quite dramatic, the visuals we are seeing here, and it's quite unprecedented. We have not seen a monorail situation happening. In fact, during the last hours, we saw some bit of glitch in metro as well. There was some waterlogging, in one of the metro stations. That is something we have covered. And of course, suburban local trains always in news during monsoon. So this is the first time, perhaps the first time that monorail glitch is something.
Radhika, I believe, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Radhika. I believe we can go across to our reporter Abhishek there. Abhishek, give us a sense of what's happening at the spot. You're there at the spot. Is it still raining there? What are the authorities telling you there?
Yeah, I can show you right behind me. You can clearly see the rescue operations are currently on, and this is the stranded metro monorail, from where you can clearly see there are three important ladders. Windows have been broken, and the rescue operation is going on. In fact, the local administration is making announcement that no need to panic. We are here. We are here with all the equipment, and rescue operation is going on smoothly. But definitely, it is raining heavily right now. Several important passengers who are being shifted are taken to the ambulance. We have one of them. आप कितने देर से अंदर फंसे थे?
कम से कम 2 घंटे से ऊपर हो गया सर।
कैसे निकाला गया आपको?
मेरे को फायर ब्रिगेड वाले बुला के सीढ़ी से निकाले सर।
लेकिन क्या कांच तोड़ना पड़ा, दरवाजा तोड़ना?
कांच तोड़ना पड़ा सर।
अभी कैसी हालत है? अंदर सफोकेशन हो रहा था क्या?
अंदर बहुत गर्मी है सर, बच्चे लोग बूढ़े लोग बड़े बहुत दिक्कत से परेशानी है।
और कितने लोग होंगे लगभग?
अब लगभग मेरे हिसाब से कुछ नहीं तो आधा गाड़ी भरा हुआ, क्योंकि एक्चुअली ट्रेन बंद है ना, इसके लिए पब्लिक इसमें बहुत ज्यादा है, बहुत ज्यादा है ट्रेन।
फिर भी लगभग 50-100 कितने लोग हो सकते हैं?
नहीं होंगे, 100 के ऊपर ही होंगे।
100 के ऊपर लोग बताए जा रहे हैं। आपको पहले निकाला गया?
पहले दूसरे नंबर पे आया सर, मैं दूसरे साथ में ही आया उसके साथ।
मतलब अभी और कितने लोग फंसे होंगे अंदर?
कम से कम 50-60 लोग होंगे अभी अंदर।
काफी लोगों को एम्बुलेंस में भी लेके जाया जा रहा है। किसी की हालत
If there
गंभीर
are,
हुई है क्या?
Abhishek, could you ask him if there are old people there, people with physical challenges?
दिक्कत होती है ना आदमी को, उसकी वजह से उनको लेके गया गया, बाकी दिक्कत
नहीं। और सीनियर सिटीजन है क्या अंदर?
सिटीजन है उसमें, काफी है, 2, 4, 6।
आपके हिसाब से और कितने लोग हो सकते हैं फंसे हुए अंदर? आप निकलने में सफल रहे और कितनी मशक्कत लगेगी फायर ब्रिगेड को?
अभी कम से कम आधा घंटा, इनको 1 घंटा तो जाएगा अभी, और मेरे हिसाब से।
कितनी देर से फंसे थे अगर बता पाए?
मैक्सिमम मैं पकड़ा था 6:30, 5 बजे कुछ। हाँ, लगभग 2 घंटा से ऊपर हो गया सर।
आप बच के निकल पाए? और बच्चे हैं, बूढ़े हैं, और क्या जानकारी?
दो या एक बच्चे मेरे पास में थे, और बाकी बूढ़े हैं जो कम से कम हाइपर हो रहे हैं, गुस्सा कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये लोग कांच तोड़ने नहीं दे रहे थे।
लेकिन फाइनली कांच तोड़ना पड़ा।
इसकी वजह से शुक्र है ऊपर वाले का, निकल गए हम लोग।
धन्यवाद, आपने हमसे बात की। So here, this is the situation out here. There are many senior citizens, small children, and most important of all, we have to understand that, due to the central line, which is not operational till now, more crowd is expected and was expected in this. And as we spoke to an eyewitness who has just come out from, who has been just rescued, and he was telling us that, around more than 100 people are there still stranded inside, and it's a completely packed monorail. And you can clearly see there are continuously 3 ladders at 3 different compartments, from where rescue operation is currently going on. And that is how at the time when there was a red alert, there was a technical glitch in this metro, and it was reported around 6:15 p.m. to the disaster management of the BMC, from where BMC has informed it to the fire brigade, and the fire brigade have come here for the rescue operations which are currently going on. And one of the important things that to be noted out here, completely technical failure has led to suffocation inside, and that's the reason many of the stranded passengers inside, including senior citizens, small children, are facing severe problem of suffocation. So it is necessary for quick and immediate evacuation. The local administration along with the fire brigade are trying their level best with the smooth evacuation. Announcements are being currently made that no need to panic. All the best possible equipments are in place, smoothly evacuation. In fact, ambulance is also here kept so that whoever is in a difficult situation can be immediately shifted to the nearby hospital. We are bringing you the live rescue operation by the fire brigade currently going on, right? Trying to get all the stranded passengers in the monorail up there, to be safely evacuated. And more importantly, when we spoke to the eyewitness, they are being stranded till more than 2 hours. There are senior citizens, small children, women, and in fact, the crowd is more than the normal because of the central line. The important Mumbai local central line is not operational, and that's the reason more amount of crowd has shifted to monorail. This is what is the situation currently we're reporting from ground. And again, I tell my cameraman to show you, the operations are in full swing, and announcement have been made that no need to panic. All the possible help will be made. And at the same time, Mumbai police is on the ground, ambulances are there, and also we spoke to the eyewitness who was fortunate enough to be the second one to be rescued, and he explained the horrifying experience that he had inside the monorail when he was stuck for more than 2 hours, 1.5 hours, what he said to us. And he also told that the rush is more than the normal because of the central line which is not operational currently.